industry guys who were saying all kinds of really disrespectful stuff,
Yeah.
And it made me mad, and I went back to the hotel and wrote the words to Barracuda.
Ann Wilson is an American musician who's best known as the main vocalist and primary songwriter for the rock band Heart. Wilson has been a member of Heart since the early 1970s, and so is her younger sister Nancy. Heart, the first female-fronted hard rock band, published multiple albums in the late 1970s and 1980s. The albums Dreamboat Annie and Little Queen produced top singles like Magic Man, Crazy on You, and Barracuda. In the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and 2010s, Heart has put albums in the top 10 of the Billboard 200. Hit Parader named Ann Wilson as number 78 on the greatest heavy metal vocalists of all times in 2006. Wilson has a soprano lyric vocal range. She's recognized for her operatic skills.
Centerfold now.
Yeah.
When you're really a musician,
Yeah.
But some of the old stuff is still in place. It's just gone underground. It's just
Sneaky.
deep and systemic.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. Her full name is Ann Dustin Wilson, but is also known as Ann. She was born June 19, 1950 in San Diego, California, making her 71 at the time of this production. She stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. During Wilson's childhood, she was bullied because of her weight, and she has said that she starved herself and took diet pills in the 70s and early 80s. In the mid-1980s, record executives and members of Heart put pressure on Ann to lose weight, and the negative publicity she received because of her size caused Wilson to have stress-related panic attacks. In January 2002, she underwent lap band, adjustable gastric banding system procedure, and lost 60 pounds by the end of the year. In November 2009, doctors discovered that Ann had a liver disease due to alcohol consumption, and she decided to get sober. In 2020, she spoke about her sobriety in the Ties That Bind Us interview series, stating, "The first thing I did when I decided to do it was that I met with a group of friends, people who were closest to me, and we sat around and talked. They wanted me to go into a traditional recovery by the sea type place, but I didn't want to do that. I had little kids, and I wanted to be there for them. So I made a public vow that if I fell off the wagon, I would go to one of those places, and then I went into therapy. I went 4 times a week until I could gradually go once a week. And I had methods that included meditation big time. Whenever I felt that urge, that voice saying I can have just one, I go there instead. And that's how I did it." Heart has received 4 Grammy nominations: Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal for Heart and Bad Animals, and Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal for Alone and All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You. They won a Juno Award for Group of the Year in 1977, and they were nominated for Breakthrough Group of the Year, Album of the Year for Dreamboat Annie, and International Album of the Year for Heart. The band has also earned a Brit Award nomination for International Group and an American Music Award nomination for Pop Rock Band Duo Group. In 2009, Ann and Nancy were honored with the ASCAP Founders Award, and they received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012. In the 70s, Ann dated Heart's manager, Michael Fisher, and they split up in 1979 after Michael fell in love with someone else. In 1991, Wilson adopted a daughter, Marie, followed by a son, Dustin, in 1998. On April 25, 2015, she married Dean Wetter, who she briefly dated in the 80s. In August 2016, Dean was arrested after he assaulted Nancy's 16-year-old twins, Curtis and William. The boys left the doors of Ann's tour bus open after Dean asked them to close them so the dogs would not escape, and he punched and slapped one of the teens and tried to choke both of them. In March 2017, Wetter pled guilty to 2 counts of assault, and after making a plea deal, he received a suspended sentence of 364 days, as well as 2 years probation. The incident caused tension between Ann and Nancy, resulting in Heart going on hiatus after their 2016 tour ended. The hiatus ended in early 2019, and Heart soon embarked on their Love Alive tour.
And just, it energized me, and it was peaceful. So that's what it takes for me to write, is I need peace, and I need room to daydream and quiet,
Ann Wilson was born Ann Dustin Wilson in San Diego, California. Ann grew up with Father John, a U.S. Marine Corps major, Mother Lou, a concert pianist, and sisters Nancy and Lynn. The family moved frequently due to John's career, and they lived in Taiwan and Panama during Ann's childhood. In the early 60s, the Wilsons settled in Seattle, Washington, and Ann attended Sammamish High School, graduating in 1968. Music was important to the Wilson family, and on Sundays they'd have pancakes and opera. When Ann was 12, she contracted mononucleosis and missed school for several weeks, and Lou bought her an acoustic guitar to keep her busy while she was stuck at home. Wilson had a stutter during her youth, and she turned to singing as a way to overcome it. Ann and Nancy played in the bands Viewpoint and Rapunzel during their high school years, and after graduation, Ann joined the band Whiteheart, which later became known as Hocus Pocus. In 1974, the name was changed to Heart, and Nancy joined the band. After Nancy joined Heart, the band relocated to Canada, and they released their debut studio album, Dreamboat Annie, in September 1975. The album was certified platinum in the U.S. and reached number 7 on the Billboard 200 chart. They followed Dreamboat Annie with the Platinum Magazine and the 3-times platinum Little Queen in 1977, the 2-times platinum Dog and Butterfly in 1978, and the Gold Bebe Lestrange in 1980. In 1985, the band released the 5-times platinum Heart, which topped the Billboard 200 chart. The band's next 2 albums, 3-times platinum Bad Animals and 2-times platinum Brigade, reached number 2 and number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart, respectively. In 1992, Wilson performed on the tracks Am I Inside and Brother on the Alice in Chains EP Sap. And in the mid-1990s, Ann and Nancy opened the Bad Animals recording studio in Seattle. The sisters formed the side project The Lovemongers and performed a cover of Led Zeppelin's The Battle of Evermore on the soundtrack of the 1992 film Singles, which was directed by Nancy's then-husband Cameron Crowe. The Lovemongers released the live EP Battle of Evermore, then studio album Whirligig, and the holiday album Here Is Christmas. In 2001, Wilson participated in a Walk Down Abbey Road, a tribute tour to the Beatles, and she released her debut solo album, Hope and Glory, in September 2007. The album featured Elton John, Rufus Wainwright, Katie Lang, and other well-known musicians, and it included the singles Isolation, Little Problems, Little Lies, and Immigrant Song, a Led Zeppelin cover. In the 2000s, Hearts released 4 albums as of this writing: 2004's Jupiter's Darling, 2010's Red Velvet Car, 2012's Fanatic, and 2016's Beautiful Broken.
These different people's energies and everything. You have to be just focused on that 1-2 hours you're going to do on stage.
Yeah.
So the road trip really helped me write.
According to various sources, as of 2022, her annual income is $4 million. According to Wikipedia and Celebrity Net Worth, Ann's primary income source is professional singer. Athletes, singers, actors, entertainers, whoever else you have, they do not only earn their money directly from professions. The American singer-star has generated a load of cash through advertising and her vast sponsorship deals. She also earns a great deal of money from her endorsement contracts. Wilson's net worth is estimated to be $18 million. In 1980, Wilson paid $460,000 for a 7,253 square foot house in Seattle. She put the 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home on the market for $4.738 million in late 2018, and it sold for $4.32 million in April 2019. Cars you'll find in Wilson's garage include a red velvet car, a Range Rover, a Rolls-Royce,